Welcome to the Love Across Time. I am your guide. And today we will explore together the love story that spans 1,000 years between Li Weiwei and Feng Xujin. Chapter 30. The free treatment day came so fast that she couldn't even blink. When Feng Xujin first told her about it, she quickly looked for some medical ancient book to revision on it. That day Chi also come to help her. Feng Xujin built a place for her in the middle of Chang'an. It is open. Who have chronic illness stay on the left side while the others on the right side. Li Weiwei voice echoes among the people. All of them begin to line up. She also instructed them to register using the modern world system. Li Weiwei is not a real doctor, so she decided to only treat a normal illness, not the heavy one. But she will also take a look at the serious patient condition and send them to the proper physicians with the money she got from the emperor. Madam, can you tell me a bit about her symptoms? She looked at the small child in her mother's arms. My child temperature is so high and she keep on coughing. Li Weiwei then touched the child's forehead. She also checked her pulse. Li Weiwei has learned about it from a physician who came to her manor. She is having a high fever. I will write a prescription for you. Don't worry, she will be fine. The mother quickly thanked Li Weiwei old senior. Is there something wrong with your leg? She saw the way the old man limping. I fell down yesterday. She checked his leg, it was a bit sprained. She then asked Chi to pick up the stick that was available in ancient era. Li Weiwei want to use it as splint or a cast. Old senior, you should restrict movement of your leg to ensure a proper healing. She explained slowly to make sure the old man understands. I will give you a cane to keep your weight off the affected leg. You need to use it for about 4 weeks. Li Weiwei added. Her day filled with patients from all over the country. Ache take over her body. General Feng Manor. How was your day, Jean? They are currently in the courtyard normal. How about you? He asked her back. Tired, but I don't regret helping them. Li Weiwei suddenly sit beside him and leaning against his shoulder. Weiwei, tell me more about yourself. Feng Xujin finally figured out that she don't belong to this place. Soft snoring sounded through his ears. He found out she is sleeping. She must be very tired. Slowly carrying her with bridal style, he walked to their pavilion. He put her carefully on the bed. Changing into his sleeping robe, he lay beside her. He wrapped his hands around her waist protectively. I will always trust you, Feng Xujin whispered to her. He is going to wait until she tell him about herself. Since I finally found you, I want to thank you again, she said, panting heavily. Li Weiwei has been walking around trying to find Daku-san. She know Daku-san always stay in Chang'an even though he live in a different country. She don't know his reasons, but she don't want to push him to tell her. I thought you forgot about me, Daku-san said bitterly. He has been spending time trying to forget her, but today she suddenly appeared. How will he forget her? His heart is no more his. It beats for her. Of course I wouldn't. You are the only friend I had in this world, Li Weiwei said after she senses he is sulking. Let's go, I will treat you, she said, dragging his robe. What do you want to eat? They are in a small restaurant. He's somehow happy she remember him. Daku-san hasn't planning on sulking at her for a long time. I will eat what you eat, he said casually. Their food finally served by a woman in her middle age. Li Weiwei quickly thanked her. Sin, how is your relationship with Jiang Liu? Her question made him choked. Here, drink some water. She poured some water for him. What are you talking about? We are nothing, Daku-san said after his choking moment. It can't be true, she teased him. Li Weiwei thought he is trying to hide it, but she saw his serious face. Finally realized he is not lying really. What about the other day in the field? She said, a bit panicked. We only greet each other and then separated, Daku-san replied without hesitation. Maybe the plot changed a bit and he is destined with someone else, just like Feng Xujin suddenly marry me. Li Weiwei muttered to herself. What did you say? He couldn't catch what she is saying on nothing. Sin, do you have someone you like? She asked him again to confirm her suspicion. Yes, I do. This time Daku-san's voice were serious. No sign of joking, I guess, right? Who do I know her? Li Weiwei make fun of him again. She is in front of me, Daku-san suddenly said, made her speechless. Her eyes widened, no words coming out from her lips. Li Weiwei were stunned. Ha 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 ha, I got you. Look at your face, his laughter snapped her. Then she realized he is joking you. How could you make a joke like that? Li Weiwei pretend to be mad at him. How could I a prince like an auntie who is married like you? There are ladies in line waiting for me. Daku-sin added, trying to cover his feelings. You really call me an auntie? You come here. I'm gonna hit you till you faint. The two of them began their chasing. Laughter and chaos filled the shop. Even though I couldn't have you, I will always be there whenever you need me. Daku-sin thought sorrowfully. Chapter 31. General Feng Manor. Accompanying Feng Xujin to settle the scrolls. Feels so damn boring. Fortunately, Li Weiwei suddenly remembered that she haven't tell him about Lu Qi. Jin, I actually have something to talk to you. What is it? He replied while staring at the scrolls. Lu Qi is the one who tried to kill you. Li Weiwei said, not looking at him. I know. Feng Xujin replied shortly. What? How do you know that? She accidentally raised her voice. I told Zhao Li to investigate about the matter and we found out it's him. He casually said you know that yet you kept silent. You should have stayed away from him. Don't get into his way. She is mad. Her face turned red because of the anger she feel. Li Weiwei glared at him. I am the one who should be worried about you. Feng Xujin suddenly added, what, why me? I am completely fine. She looked at him weirdly. Everyone is trying to take you away from me. She laughed hearing him said that. Grabbing her husband's handsome face in her hand, she said, why would they want me? I am your wife. Even if they do, I will not leave you. Saying this reminded her of the old man words. She has forgotten about it. Her laugh died quickly. Jin, if I said I am not someone from this world, do you believe me? Li Weiwei said gloomily, waiting for him to laugh. I believe you. Her head swiftly looked up as soon as he said that. Initially, she just wanted to test him really. For the second time, she is surprised again. Yes, I believe in you, Feng Xujin said seriously. He himself couldn't believe it. But in this world, nothing is impossible. Don't you think I'm weird? Li Weiwei said, fiddling her fingers. Feng Xujin continues doing his work but eventually let out a sentence. Before this, I do think you're weird, but not now. He softly said, what are y'all talking about? Li Weiwei couldn't contain her expression. Stop pretending, Li Weiwei. General alone is not enough, and now you flirt with Prince Lu Qi. A group of ladies suddenly attacked her when she is dining some dishes. She just want to eat in peace because her husband is busy with his work. Why would I flirt with him? I have a husband, for God's sake, y'all can have him. Li Weiwei couldn't help but burst in laughter. The situation bring back the memories of her old self who loved idols so much that she couldn't accept it when the idol date someone. Now she knows she lived her life wrongly. Idols also a human with their own life. I feel so sorry for all the idols. Now I know the feeling of being accused stealing a person from the fans. She muttered to herself. How do we know you're talking the truth? One of the lady asked Li Weiwei. The atmosphere turned a bit calm. All the customers waiting for Li Weiwei answers. All eyes on her. She don't know what were they expecting. Ben Wang can guarantee that. Another manly but young voice suddenly sounded through the shop. The spectators turned completely to the new presence. They are curious who is the one talking. Lu Ba. I mean your highness Prince Lu Bao, what are you doing here? Li Weiwei quite flustered by his sudden appearance. Ben Wing has been looking for some time to meet you. Lu Bao said, a bit shy, and for all of you. Li Weiwei don't have any relationship with second brother. We were like friends with her, right, Li Weiwei? Lu Bao words shocked them. How could the princes be friends with a lady, huh? Yes, we are indeed friends. She couldn't deny it as it will cause Lu Bao an embarrassment. Me and Lu Qi friends, never in a million years. She thought to herself. Now go away, Ben Wang, have some business with Li Weiwei. Or y'all can afford the consequences of bothering me. Lu Bao's warning scared them and they finally leave. Lu Bao and Li Weiwei finally sit on their table. Your Highness, why are you looking for me? She asked, feeling a bit weird. Ben Wang wants to be friend with you, do you mind? Lu Bao said straightforwardly, no, Your Highness. I also don't have any companion since General and Sin is busy. Li Weiwei sighed heavily. You seems very close to Prince Daku-sin. How long did you know him? He feel a bit envy of Daku-sin. He should have been friends with her earlier. After I came here, maybe about 4 months. He is a good person. She is glad that she met a true friend here, even though he is a man. But she knows he is sincere. She didn't realize that time flies so fast. Nearly half year she came to the ancient era. The most impossible thing actually happened to her. Then you will also call me by my name. We are friends now, Lu Bao pouted at her. You are a prince, how could I dare? Hesitantly said while looking at his sad face. Daku Sin is also a prince, you call him by his name. Then mine also am, that's because. Alright, I will call you by your name, but I will make a nickname for you, okay? Li Weiwei held out her hand in an okay gesture. Oh. Okay. Lu Bao hesitantly said it out as he is not sure what language was it. How about Bao Bao, since we are the same age, right? She smirked at him. Li Weiwei feel comfortable talking to him because she can tease him. Chapter 32. Walking around the capital with Prince Lu Bao caused all the people in the capital look at them in a different perspectives. Bao Bao, do you like all the attention from people? Li Weiwei wonder if he likes to be popular. Of course. I am a prince and I must protect the nobility of royal family. Do you not like it? Prince Lu Bao excitedly said. I don't like it when someone pay attention on us just because of our background or status. I just want to live my life normally. She preferred to stay away from all the political issues. But Feng Xujin's title make it impossible. Li Weiwei wished they could live in their own house with no one else. Just the two of them enjoying their life. Without any maids or servants. She could imagine Feng Xujin's appearance in the modern world, and he would fit any clothes like a model because of his perfect proportions. Even though I don't understand why you don't like it, but I will accept your opinion. Lu Bao's smile adorably flashing his white teeth. You're adorable, you know that. She didn't he would be this innocent. What are we going to do now? We can't just walk around cause I'm tired. Li Weiwei added, will you come to the palace? I will show you the palace's surrounding, okay? I also would love to know more about the palace. Let's go then. She dragged him to one of the paid carriage. Wow, I didn't know the palace have this kind of flowers garden. This is so beautiful, she exclaimed. The smell of the flowers can refresh a person's mind. However, in this era, people are not able to build a garden in their own home. Because of the lack of space, it is only possible for a very well-off people. The royal's garden contains different types of plants. For instance, it has different flowers such as roses, sunflowers, lilies, daisies. The colors of the flowers make a garden look beautiful. This is one of my favorite places because my brothers and father is too busy. Lu Bao said hesitantly while unconsciously scratching his back head. She looked at him in a sorry expression. Even though they are the same age, but she feel like Lu Bao is more like a child who needs more attention from his own family. Don't worry, starting from today on. I will be there for you whenever you want. Li Weiwei while patting his back really. His eyes shine with happiness. And she nodded eagerly to show her sincerity. Now let's went to my small palace. I have so many things to show you. This time he is the one who dragged her weight. Is it proper for a married woman like me to enter a prince's private palace? She is afraid she will disgrace Feng Xujin's honor. No worries. There is a lot of servants and I believe General won't be mad. Lu Bao tried to convince her. I'm not really sure of that. Li Weiwei trailed off her words. Suddenly another voice booming in the garden. What is an intruder doing here? It was actually the first Prince Lu He. Lu Bao and Li Weiwei's head snapped to his direction. They are quite shocked by his sudden attending. This lady greet your highness, first Prince Lu He. Li Weiwei quickly regained her conscience. Ben Wang asked third prince once again. Why there is an intruder in the royal garden? Lu Bao's face turned ashen white. He thought all his brother were out of the palace, so he bring his friend to the palace. I apologize for interrupting, but what do you mean by that? Li Weiwei were surprised by first prince's sudden change of personality. The first time they meet at the concubine ceremony, he seems kind and generous. Why did he change? This is a royal garden. And only royals can get inside. An intruder need to be killed in an instant. First brother, what are you talking about? Li Weiwei is my friend and you know it. Lu Bao instantly stand in front of Lu Hua in a defense manner. Lu Bao, you want to disobey the emperor's rule. You dare? He smirked like a villain. How did he change in just short of time? Guards seize her. The guards tried to went near Li Weiwei, but Lu Bao pushed them. I am a prince too, so you need to listen to my command. Li Weiwei were too flabbergasted to react. What did I get myself into, she thought. Take the third prince Lu Bao and lock him in his chamber. The royal guards moved towards Lu Bao and hold him tightly. No, what are you doing? Let me go, Li Weiwei run. Lu Bao screamed loudly, but everyone ignored him. She couldn't do anything and the guards hold her and then dragged her away from Lu Bao. Bao Bao, tell Feng Xujin and I will be okay. Li Weiwei tried to comfort him. She knows he feels so guilty for what happened, but it is not his fault. His intention were pure. Chapter 33. Staying in the jail definitely not in her bucket list. She couldn't believe she went into a freaking jail just because of a garden. In the modern world, gardens are everywhere and it's free for God's sake. Should I call it prison instead of jail? She thought. Another vicious prince I had encountered with. Li Weiwei heaved a breath. Excuse me, guard. Can you tell the general I am here? She lightly said. In the prison, she could see different kind of people. Some of them probably committed major crimes. But some commit a small crime. All of them look at her when she first arrived in the prison. She felt very small. She was intimidated by their stares. I don't think it is possible, Miss, cause His Highness First Prince have prevent you from contacting anyone. I am sorry, one of the guards said while feeling guilty, nodding as a sign of understanding him. She sits back on the plain floor of the prison. It was cold but bearable. Anyway, I might implicate Jin if he got involved, right? Probably it will be much better if he stay out of this. Li Weiwei feels somehow restless if he interferes her own carelessness. He just barely escapes his own death. How could she bring another vicious prince on his way? Living in a prison isn't that bad actually. I hope Lu He will release me soon. A prince chamber. Lu Bao continues walking back and forth with one of his eunuch. Worry was written all over her face. Eunuch Jiang, I need to get out. Li Weiwei need me. He anxiously said. Your Highness, there are guards outside. You will never get out safely. Eunuch Jiang whispered in his ear. But we need to inform General to save her. Lu Bao sprint towards the door of his chamber wanting to get out, but was prevented by Eunuch Jiang. Your Highness, don't be so reckless. You will only harm yourself. Eunuch Jiang interrupted him. Plus Miss Li Weiwei have her own husband. Let General settle it. This words aroused Lu Bao's anger. What did you say? I am the one who caused her to get into the prison. You told me to ignore her. How can I? She is my friend. I am a prince of this country, but I couldn't even save my very first friend who very sincere as Lu Bao's friend, not a prince's friend. Eunuch Jiang quickly bow on his knees. He have never seen Prince Lu Bao this enraged. He always smiled despite everything happening, including the seizures of royal's power. Now you listen. Go to second brother to inform Feng Xujin about Li Weiwei. Lu Bao could have tell Eunuch Jiang to got directly inform Feng Xujin, but he will definitely get caught in the middle of his way. So the safest way would be asking for help from second brother as the guards won't suspect Lu Qi. Walking slowly towards the prison in the middle of the underground, torch were put around the dungeon. He never went to the place and this is the first time. After receiving the news from an eunuch, he don't realize that his feet walking in a fast pace. Lu Qi don't know what he is feeling about the news. Greeting. The guards was about to greet him, but he stopped the guards. Lu Qi slowly peeks at her private prison. He thought she would be crying, but he is completely wrong. She is currently laying down on the straw bed, shivering looking at her state. He should be laughing at her, but he instead feel with disturbed by her state. He told the guard to open the cell and walk inside. I should be mocking and cursing you for the slap that you gave me. But it doesn't feels right. Lu Qi suddenly spoke up in a small tone. Slipping off his outer robe, he slowly put it on her, leaving her quickly, not wanting to be noticed. Gracefully walking inside the palace in his all-black robe. He is in a killer mode. His presence alone could melt all the guards' knees. This general greets your majesty, your highness first prince and all the ministers. His voice sent chills down their veins. The court were full with tension by his presence. They could sense it will bring some chaos due to a lady. Come and sit first. The emperor tried to lessen the stressed atmosphere. This general is not here to sit. I am here to talk about my wife Li Weiwei. Without any delay, he loudly announced his purpose. Seems like the rumors about the great general pampered his wife were not baseless. Your wife had break the royal rules and she is to be punished as an example to all the people. Lu He said with a mocking tone. Her punishment have been lessened because she is your wife, so you should be grateful about it. Lu He added, noticing the murderous glare. What is her crime? It was short and clear. She entered the royal garden and she is to be killed, but as I said earlier, she is just going to be punished only. Lu He explained once again. The emperor couldn't take a side. The one side is his first son and probably the future of the country crown prince, and the other one is the great general, Xujin. The emperor was about to open his mouth, but a sudden appearance of another person stopped him. This son greet royal father. Lu Qi bow a bit at his father. What is the matter? I will talk to you later. His Majesty thought Lu Qi is going to talk about another matter. It is about Li Weiwei. All of them wasn't expecting his statement. She have done nothing wrong and she is just visiting the garden with third brother. Lu Qi added, second brother, are you crazy? She did a crime and she should be punished. Lu He couldn't contain his anger towards his second brother. All the minister look at them in silence, including Minister Li Weiwei's father. He is indeed worried about his daughter. But she is already married and he couldn't interfere a royal's bickering moment. Chapter 34. Lu He, stop this instant. Everyone is watching. We can discuss everything properly. The emperor could feel the tight situation that happened because of Li Weiwei. His Majesty had expected that Feng Xujin will definitely defend his own wife. But Lu Qi's actions scared him more. The emperor is afraid Lu Qi and Feng Xujin will get into a fight because of a woman. The more his Majesty thought, the more he sensed that Li Weiwei is a cunning woman. Li Weiwei, I thought wrong of you. I can't believe you managed to seduce my son as well. The emperor think that Li Weiwei bewitched his son. So he decided to take Lu He's side for once. Li Weiwei will be punished for her crime and it will be fair for both parties. His Majesty announced it loudly. Pardon me. Royal father, then you should punish Lu Bao as well since he is the one who brings her to the royal garden. Lu Qi added on the other side. A man's shadow grew darker due to the anger within him. He could almost feel his blood boiling in his veins. Feng Xujin tried to keep his cool while clenching his fists so hard that his nails cut into his skin. I will take the punishment on Li Weiwei's behalf. Feng Xujin is not asking for permission. It was more like a final decision. General Feng Xujin, I understand she is your wife, but she did wrong and needed to be teach a lesson. You don't want to defy a royal command, isn't it? The spectators instantly look at the emperor. This is the first time His Majesty had ever used his royal command on their great general Feng Xujin. Are they going to witness a huge fight? If I had to, I will anything for her. His voice was so loud and so thunderous. Feng Xujin walked out of the courtroom with a look of great bitterness swept across his face. Becoming a different person. His eyes had warped into a miserable black. They knew it. Feng Xujin finally disobeyed the ruler of the country. He has been respectful towards His Majesty. But because of a woman he dared to defy a dragon. Feng Xujin, come back here this instant. I am your ruler, you have to listen to me. The emperor lose his temperament that he kept inside since years. After several shouting from him, he clutched his chest. He feel a sudden striking pain from the inside. It was his heart attack disease. Royal father. Lu He rushed to his father's side. Everyone dismissed. Call the royal physician. Lu Qi command taking over. His pace were full of rage while passing by the underground prison. Feng Xujin lost his mind when he heard that Li Weiwei got imprisonments. When he knew the reason she got into the prison turned him crazy. It was completely ridiculous. He could build gardens for her. Or even bigger than the royals one. But still it was the royals' rule. He could only try to negotiate with the emperor. But the emperor seems to turn his back on him. So he got no choice but to show that he had the real power. Which is the power of military. Jin. How did you get here? Li Weiwei voice relieved his mind. He thought she is injured. Are you all right? It was his first question when he asked her. Of course I am. Don't worry, Lu He will release me soon. Li Weiwei confidently said, even though she is actually unsure. And also I heard you disobey His Majesty. Don't do that again. I am willing to accept any punishment since I am careless. She added before he could ask any questions. They do it on purpose. She looked at him in an annoyed face. Why did he always speak a little? I know. And if you let them get you to it, you will also get involved in this matter. You know that I want you to stay away from any danger, right? Feng Xujin looked at his wife rambling about his safety while she is the one who is still in the prison. Now go if they know you're here. Rumors will spread around that you abuse your power. We definitely don't want that to happen. Li Weiwei unintentionally chased him away. I will get you out of here, he heavily said it. I know, and I will wait for you, she said with a smile as a comfort to him. He is willing to do everything for her, and she do too. They might not have the sweetest relationship like others, but it was completely flawless for them. Chapter 35. That night she couldn't sleep as she kept imagining that she might get slain by anyone. Every time she watched a historical drama, people always get poisoned or killed inside the prison. She looked at her surrounding. She found out that some of them also couldn't sleep. Li Weiwei looked at a woman in her 30s beside her cell. That woman didn't look like she could done any major crime. Scooting closer to the woman's side, she started. Excuse me, madam, why can't you sleep? She wasn't being busybody, but she just wanted to talk to someone. I think about my daughter, that woman slowly said while looking at the young girl, which is Li Weiwei. Where is your daughter? Is she at home? Li Weiwei asked. No worries. If you don't want to talk, I won't force you, she added quickly as she was afraid that she perhaps unconsciously hurt the woman's feelings. After a heavy deep breath the woman took, she let out her problem. My daughter is no more in this world. She is sick, but I couldn't afford to pay for her medicines and acupuncture services that she needed to take. I worked as a maid at a rich manor. I steal some money from my big madam's chamber because I was really desperate for my only daughter. Even though I worked to death, I still couldn't afford to pay for my daughter's sake. Few days after I went into prison, my daughter passed away and I couldn't see her for last time. I need to stay in this prison and work as a slave for 2 months as the punishment for stealing. That woman told her story to Li Weiwei. Li Weiwei couldn't catch any emotion from that woman. But when she saw the woman is clenching her fist tightly holding her pain inside, she knew the mother is holding her pain on the inside. Losing a child is the most painful and agony to went through for every mother. It was a pain that couldn't be cured by any medicine. You are a strong woman. I hope you get the justices that you deserve. Your daughter must be watching you from heaven. Li Weiwei held the woman's hand with both of her hands. That woman's hands were full of bruises and old scars. Li Weiwei couldn't stop her eyes from getting teary. Thank you, miss. I don't know who you are, but God will bless you for your kindness. That woman thanked Li Weiwei for hearing her story. It feels so easy when she let out the pressure she'd been holding on to. Waking up grumpily. Her stomach grumbled because she is very hungry. She refused to eat the whole day. It is not because the food is not tasty, but her dramatic ass keep imagining the food got poison in it. Miss, you have been released by His Majesty command. A voice shake her off from her daydreaming. Li Weiwei looked at him in disbelief. She finally got released, but how really? Excitement can be heard from her tone. After spending 1 night at the prison, she repent a lot. Thank you for your kind service, whether it was yesterday or today. She did not forget to show her gratitude towards the guard and hand him some silver. Thank you, miss. The stone guard bowed down at her. No problem, I will go first. Li Weiwei was about to went out when she remembered about her. Li Weiwei took off some of her jewelry and walked back to yesterday's woman. Madam, I don't have any money left, but here's some gifts for you. It might not be very valuable, but you could trade it for some silver when you came out. She handed it to that woman. Thank you so much, miss. Thank you so much. Tears started to well up in the woman's eyes. She saw a new ray of hope. Walking out of the prison raised a grateful feeling within her. She guessed that she will be out of the prison, but not this soon. Jean must have done something out of control. Wait, I'm back at home. Will knock his head with Zhao Mama's bowl. Murmuring to herself that she bumped into a wall, or should we say a human. Ouch, I'm sore. Li Weiwei were tongue-tied when she looked up. It was Feng Xujin. A Jean, you shouldn't pick me. I can go home by myself, don't trouble yourself. She was about to nag at him, but when she saw his usual stoned expression, she discarded the idea. You don't trouble me. How did you get me out of here? Did you perhaps threaten His Majesty? Li Weiwei trailed off the last sentence. It was Lu Qi. His face hardened when the words came out from his mouth. Yesterday, Feng Xujin had lost all of his rational and tolerance mind. He was about to threaten the emperor, but Daku Sin's arrival at his manor stopped him and forced him to find another way. Are you crazy? You think Li Weiwei would want you to do this? Daku Sin sternly said at Feng Xujin. Get out. Feng Xujin ignored him. She always think about you even in the most critical moment. You really think that she would be happy if you defy your emperor for her? She won't do it if you want, and you will lose her. Mark my words. Daku-sin walked away once he finished saying that. He did not try to save Feng Xujin, but it was Li Weiwei. If something happened to Feng Xujin, Li Weiwei would be the one who received the most pain. And Daku-sin would never want that to happen, even if it means he had to help the man that she loves. Chapter 36 Royal Father. This unfilial son beg you to dismiss Li Weiwei from the punishment. Lu Qi stand in front of his father chamber. Qi you do know that Feng Xujin is not someone you can afford to mess with. I don't know what is your intention towards Li Weiwei, but I would like you to stop. The laying on bed emperor trying to counsel his son. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm just trying to save Lu Bao. If anyone heard that, they will accuse us on punishing an innocent people. Lu Qi maintained his posture and expression. It feels right to help her rather than adding fuel into the fire. He could just incite his royal father, but he don't know what's stopping him. I hope what you're saying is right. His Majesty release a relief breath. First Prince Lu He have arrived. A sudden announcement broke through His Majesty chamber. Royal father, I hope you're just fine. Lu He quickly greeted. I am actually here to ask you about Li Weiwei. Her punishment is still ongoing, right? Lu He added. Tell the guard to release her in an instant. His father command shook him. What? I mean, why, royal father? Lu He couldn't control his tone. After a long consideration, Lu Bao is also at fault and a royal garden is not a big matter. Don't talk about this matter anymore now, dismiss. His Majesty wouldn't admit that Feng Xujin is too powerful to become their enemy. Yes, royal father. Lu He glared at Lu Qi cause he could guess he is the one who persuaded him. This son will take his leave first. Lu Qi quickly leave. Why would Lu Qi save me? Her eyes almost bulging out. She looked at her husband curiously. Her husband looked back at her and it made her nervous, so she quickly looked away. I literally slapped him and he saved me. It's so weird she rant about the oddness anyway. As long as I am free it doesn't matter. I will repay him later. I don't want to owe him anything. She huffed at herself. After a long time rambling alone, she realized that Feng Xujin were very quiet. Like seriously more quiet than before. Jin, is there something wrong with you? She pulled his robe down. He bent his body down to her height. His sour face on view. I failed you. It was one sentence, but it breaks Li Weiwei's heart. No, you didn't. I am glad that Sin stopped you. Even if they hurt me, I wouldn't want you to place yourself in danger. I would never want that, never in a million years. In this lifetime you will live peacefully forever. She looked deeply into his eyes. She saw that he is helpless. And we will consider that Lu Qi helping as a luck. Okay, we will thank him and it's over. And one more thing. You didn't fail me and you never will. Don't blame yourself for everything that happened. It is fate. Li Weiwei added with a smile on her face. Okay, He could only nod at his head when she saw she is earnestly trying to convince him. You are so cute. She accidentally pinched his face. Feng Xujin was about to deny her exclamation, but another presence disrupted them. Greetings, the second prince. Li Weiwei started when she see that the two of them keep staring at each other. Feng Xujin. Lu Qi unwillingly called him Lu Qi. Feng Xujin muttered his name as a greet. I'm glad that you're released. Lu Qi tried to ease the awkward situation. Thanks to your highness I was able to get out. Right, Jin. Li Weiwei don't want to make Feng Xujin feel left out, so she tried to include him in the conversation. Feng Xujin only nodded, then he looked away again. He don't know why, but these days he feels so insecure whenever he is around Li Weiwei. It was nothing. I was just correcting royal father that Lu Bao is also at fault even though he is my brother. Even if I don't do anything, Xujin would have done anything to get you out. It feels so awkward that Lu Qi just randomly said something. Lu Qi was well aware of Feng Xujin's capabilities, and it is more than sufficient just to save his woman. Nonetheless. I want to thank you for doing so, and probably next time I will repay you back. Li Weiwei want to end the conversation as soon as possible. We will take our leave first, your highness. Thank you once again and bye. She quickly dragged Feng Xujin away from there. Chapter 37 After the last incident. Feng Xujin have put a strict rules for Li Weiwei. She couldn't enter the palace as much as she wanted. As he said it was dangerous, Feng Xujin, Feng Xujin. Li Weiwei's voice were so loud that everyone thought something happened. All the guards stood in their defense stances, but when they saw their madam skipped happily towards Feng Xujin's room, relief breath instantly came out. His ears perked up when he hears her voice. Why would she suddenly called him by full name? Seems like your little wife is excited, but we don't know why. Zhao Li laughed at him. You know what? I also want to have a wife like her cute. Zhao Li didn't saw the heated glare coming through. If looks could kill, he would be under the ground. Feng Xujin. Look, I made a couple t-shirts for both of us. Li Weiwei hold up the t-shirts that she time spent on for the past 2 days. She didn't get the chance to do this kind of thing when she is in the modern world, so she wants to do it with her husband in the ancient era. Ha 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 ha. Li Weiwei, what is that? What? Zhao Li is the first one to give away a reaction. A t-shirt. She deliberately pressed the word. And we're going on a camping. Are you excited, Jin? Li Weiwei has been planning to go on a camping as she loves camping. Camping. Feng Xujin finally react. Yes, camping. You know, sleep in the camp just like in your military camp. But this is different, a small camp with fire, barbecue, stories, and in the morning we will watch the sunrise. Isn't it cool? She added. We're not going what? Her hands, which were flying around while talking about camping, slowly went down. It is dangerous. Feng Xujin tried to explain to her when he saw her disappointed expression. Zhao Li, who was at there, suddenly nowhere to be found. He knew they're about to went into a bickering session, as he knew well about Feng Xujin's protectiveness towards Li Weiwei. If you don't want to go, then I will go with my friend. She snorted at him. You don't have any friend. I have Zhao Mama, Dakusin, Zhao Li, and others. If you don't want to go, so be it. Li Weiwei leave once she finish it. She was actually teasing him. She knew he don't like it when she talked about Dakusin, so she deliberately said it. Walking around slowly out of the room, his voice stopped her. We will only make a camping within the manor. But no couple clothes or anything. Take it or leave it. Feng Xujin's urge to speak up instantly brought a smirk on her face. She held her hand up and gave him a sign of okay, meaning. Walking out with a victory smile on her face. A handmade camp stood tall at the back of the manor. She herself thought it was ridiculous. But it is okay as long as she can spend some time with him. Inside the small camp, she looked at the t-shirt sadly. Even though it was pearly sewn, but it was the first time ever that she made it with her own hands. Her hands were full of scars because of it. What are you looking at so intently? His sudden appearance surprised her that she quickly hid the t-shirt. He is too tall that he had to bend into half whenever he went into the silly camp. When Feng Xujin told Zhao Li that he agreed to her request, Zhao Li laughed at him. Zhao Li couldn't believe that Feng Xujin will stay in a small camp just for fun. His boring life started to turn around nothing. Let me see it. His demand can't be refused. Li Weiwei made it just for fun, as she is aware that all the people in ancient era is conservative. They are banned from wearing revealing clothes. It is very weird, but I will take it since you made it on your own. Her mood suddenly lightened up when she heard that. She was about to express her thankfulness. But he suddenly went out to the side of the camp and take out some medicine from the small cupboard that Zhao Mama prepared for them. Give me your hand. Li Weiwei feels like she is being controlled by someone. Her hands went out on its own with his hooded eye. He focused on his tasks. She never thought Feng Xujin's personality had this side as well. When she saw his furrowed eyebrow, she wished this moment could last forever. Feng Xujin, how lucky am I to be able to marry in this lifetime? Jin, what do you think about Luha? Why would Luha suddenly change? It was in her mind ever since he pulled his trick on her. His hands were stiffened for a second, but Feng Xujin quickly continued to focus. He hasn't told Li Weiwei that Luha is his rival since childhood. Luha might seem he keep his profile low, but he is actually more powerful than what people thought. But his temper can't be controlled. Lu Qi is just a puppet to Luha. Lu Qi under Lu He's control. But less people know it. Lu Qi's greediness only limit to the military power, while Lu He wanted to covet the throne. Lu He wanted to become the ruler, or should we said the god of the people. The royal family was full of dirty past, brothers killing each other for the sake of throne. Lu Qi and Lu He were about to repeat the history. Don't mind him. Feng Xujin don't want her to get involved with Lu He. Lu He won't dare to do anything to her as long as she did not went near the palace. Chapter 38. Li Weiwei been spending her time at home as Feng Xujin had banned her from going out for the time being. She feel that Feng Xujin's action were ridiculous. Walking around the manor for probably 10 times. She saw no one was around except all the servant who keep the house clean. Also these days she had been wondering where did Daku Sin went to. She discovered that the last time he came was when he scolded Feng Xujin for the irrational plan. Where did he go? How could he forgot his one and only friend? She thought deeply while munching the mooncake. It was so weird that he didn't even visit her when she was in the prison. Li Weiwei has gotten used to his presence as her only sincere friend in the ancient era. Why are you thinking of? Feng Xujin's voice startled her. Ah, you scared me. From my heart. Li Weiwei take a deep breath while soothing her heart using her right hand. I didn't mean to. Feng Xujin said while taking a seat beside her. Inside his robe an envelope can be seen. Jin, you know what I was thinking about, Sin. Frowning is visible on her eyebrow. He didn't even visit me when I was released from prison. But you said he came here, why didn't he visit me? A sour expression came out on Feng Xujin's face when he heard her said it. Don't do that face, he is just my friend. My first ever friend when I first came here. Don't be jealous, Li Weiwei quickly explained. You know what? He might be approaching me with bad intention. Since you and him had a brief fight, right? Like who would want to befriend with me without any hidden intention? But he changed and he is sincere to me. That's why I treasure him as my friend. Feng Xujin listened to her every words. He is sure that she got no feelings for Daku Sin, but he still feel unsafe. Only friend. Feng Xujin looked at her with his hooded eyes. Of course, why would he like me? He even said that I am an auntie. Every time I think of it, I want to hit his head. Li Weiwei laughed at her own story here. Feng Xujin suddenly handed her the envelope that was secured in his robe. What is this? Are you buying me a house and this is the house grant? Just jokingly, Weiwei teased him a bit. She looked at the envelope and take it from his hand. She looked at the front of the envelope and there is a name which spelled put Daku Sin's name. This is from Sin, but why would he give me a letter? Her tone filled with confusion nonetheless. She take out the letter from the envelope. Feng Xujin just sit there stills. He remembered the day that Daku Sin came. He gave him a letter to pass it to Li Weiwei. At first he was jealous. But when he thought over about Li Weiwei and Daku Sin relationship, he decided to give in. Daku Sin had never crossed the limit. Throwback. Give this to Li Weiwei later. Daku Sin said while handing over a red envelope. Why should I? Feng Xujin's voice turned cold. I will go back to my country. Daku Sin replied looking at Feng Xujin directly without any sense of fear. Why? The question unintentionally came out from Feng Xujin's mouth. You're asking me why, are you crazy? Then should I watch the lady that I love live happily with the man she love? I have a heart too, you know. Daku Sin expressed his hurting heart while laughing a bit. I couldn't even confess my feeling as I'm afraid it will ruin our relationship. It was hard to keep this feeling deep in me. Daku Sin added, but if you hurt her again, I won't hesitate to come back here and take her with me. It wasn't a warning, more like a promise. Take care of her and goodbye. I wish we will never meet again. Daku Sin had decided to stay away from her. Whenever he is near her, his heart was aching to have her as his. But he knows she is not meant to be his. Before Feng Xujin could react, Daku Sin had already left. He looked at the letter in his hand. His conscience told him to throw it away, but Li Weiwei and Daku Sin's friendship stopped him. Slowly unfolding the letter. Words were visible through Li Weiwei's eyes. She was afraid to read the letter. It's been a while since we met. I am writing this letter for you because I didn't have the chance to meet you. I am very busy, you know that I am a prince, right? I have business to take care of and also ladies propose marriage to me. As you know, I am a very popular bachelor. Her eyes started to fill with tears as she feel like she know where is this going to end. But she laughed at him boasting about him being a prince and being chased by ladies. I need to head back to my country. And also I might not come back again. It was very hard to leave without meeting you for one last time. But I think it is the best not to see your ugly face filled with tears and snots. I still remember that you gifted me the blue jade, and I still have it with me. I will treasure it forever. Take care of yourself, and I will always pray for your happiness. If we are meant to meet again, we will. Probably in this lifetime or another lifetime. Lastly, I miss you so much, my friend Li Weiwei. Sincerely, Handsome Sin. Tears already went down like a river when she is done reading his letter. How could he leave without saying goodbye? Her round eyes full of tears. She really hates this kind of partings apart. He still can joke while writing a letter to me. He even called me ugly, that ungrateful man. Li Weiwei barely said the words with sobbing forcing out. When I meet him again, I will hit him until he couldn't walk. She was very sad about him leaving, but she also don't want to hurt Feng Xujin by crying over another man. So she decided to loosen up the atmosphere, but failed miserably as her tears couldn't stop. It is okay to cry, Feng Xujin finally said something. He knew she is genuinely sad that her friend left without a proper goodbye. He hugged her close him. She cried because her only friend left her. And no one's gonna accompany her to the city. She is gonna miss his bragging and showing off attitude. Chapter 39. Zhao Mama, I will quickly come back. She screamed a bit loud to attract Zhao Mama's attention. Li Weiwei is on her way to the palace. She brought some food for Feng Xujin. He has been there since morning. The city's atmosphere were a bit dull today. She looked around, everyone seemed unusually calm. Sighing heavily, she headed to her destination. While walking, she incidentally crashed into an old man. She was about to say sorry, but she was too surprised to see a familiar face. Wait, I think we've met before. She tried to remember him, old senior, right? But I thought you only lived in the cave, she said. What are you doing here in the city? Li Weiwei added in hurry. I came to tell you that your time is coming to an end very soon. Settle everything here and go back. The old senior said without any hesitation. Also abort it, if not you're going to die. Your body couldn't afford it, he added. Li Weiwei couldn't understand him, but it suddenly struck her. Abort? Am I pregnant? She looked at her stomach. Yes. She is indeed feeling a bit aching in her back since a few days ago. Are you serious, and how do you know? Li Weiwei were dumbfounded. This is the poison to abort it. It won't have any problem, I made it myself. The old man has grown fond of the girl in front of him. What are you talking about? I wouldn't do that. Li Weiwei protectively defended the unborn child that she doesn't even know exists. Your body is getting weak. You couldn't carry him or her for 9 months. The old man trying to persuade her. Li Weiwei knew that the old senior think for her best. But how could she? A mother who kill her own child for her own safety. I thanked you for your kindness, old senior. But I couldn't do that. Even though I am risking my own life. Li Weiwei said sadly, holding her stomach. When she looked up, the old man is nowhere to be found. But the small patch of poison is still there. Jean, I'm so sorry, I couldn't do that to our unborn child. She said, throwing the poison away with tears streaming down her face. The palace. Walking slowly with her head looking down. Thinking about their unborn child and her husband. It breaks her heart into pieces. Why are you so unfair towards me, God? The thought clouded her mind. She is going to leave them here. Her vision's starting to get blurry, she couldn't hold it anymore. How are you, Li Weiwei? We haven't met for weeks. I thought you want to repay me. Lucci looked at the girl in front of him who stared at the floor. He is not one who talks a lot, but in front of her. Words instinctively coming out. Li Weiwei looked up, find out it was Lucci. But she couldn't care less about his presence. She got a bigger problem, don't bother me. I'm in no mood talking to someone. She replied through sobs. Lucci were indeed surprised when he saw she is actually crying. He thought she is a very stubborn girl who don't know the word giving up. But she is currently having a breakdown. What happened to you? He unconsciously asked. Don't quarrel with Feng Xujin again. Just live your life peacefully. Help me look after him, don't be too selfish. Li Weiwei don't have any energy to talk anymore. Where are you going? He yelled when she leave him standing alone. But she didn't say anything. The food that she brought didn't reach Feng Xujin as Li Weiwei didn't have the courage to face him. She decided to bring it back to the manor. With confusion in his mind, Lucci quickly find Feng Xujin. He don't know why he feels so flustered. Feng Xujin, something is wrong with Li Weiwei. Lucci say in one breath. He has never been this panicked before. What did you do to her? Feng Xujin suddenly raised his voice. I didn't do anything, just go back and check on her. Lu Qi lose his control, he realized he cared for her. Chapter 40 General Feng Manor, where's Li Weiwei? He asked Zhao Mama. Madam has been isolate herself in the chamber since she sent your food. She don't want anyone to bother her. Zhao Mama said worriedly. Feng Xujin quickly head to her chamber. He just barged in without caring about anything. The first thing he saw was Li Weiwei sitting in the corner with hands on her face. Her body trembling with sobs. What's wrong? He asked softly. Nothing, she wiped her tears. Walking away from him, tell me this instant. Feng Xujin's deep voice sounded very stern. Li Weiwei suddenly drop a bomb, take a concubine, she said. Feng Xujin was so surprised that his eyes burned with anger. What are you talking about? His anger exploded. Li Weiwei has decided to make him hate her so she could leave with ease. She also wants him to take a concubine to take care of their child. She is determined on giving birth before she die. You either divorce me or take a concubine. You choose. Her heart shattered when she said those words. What is wrong with you? He want to know the truth. I don't want you anymore. I don't love you. I lied. She clenched her fist when she said those words. In his whole life he have never been this hurt. His heart mentally, physically hurting a lot. You're lying, he tries to assure himself. No, I didn't. I'm tired living with you. I am always surrounded by enemies. I want to be free. Tears streaming down her face. Feng Xujin thought that tears were because of him, but it was actually she regret everything that she said to hurt him. If that is what you really want, I will take a concubine. You're not going to leave me. Feng Xujin didn't realize a tear slipped from his eyes. He left after he said that. He has never cried as he has been taught to be strong every time. But Li Weiwei had hurt him so bad. Jin, I'm so sorry. I couldn't let you suffer when I'm gone. Li Weiwei could hold the heartbreak no longer, and she fell to the floor in a disheveled heap as her grief poured out in a flood of uncontrollable tears. I am very sorry. You must take care of your father when you grow up, she said, caressing her stomach. That night Feng Xujin didn't come back while she cried herself to sleep. What's wrong with you? Zhao Li look at his friends who keep drinking. She don't want me anymore. What happened? Did you two fight? Zhao Li asked worriedly. His friends has always been strong, but now he is completely broken. She told me to take a concubine. Feng Xujin were completely sober. But he tried to get drunk. What? That is impossible. She is not someone like that. She wouldn't want another lady be with you. Zhao Li strongly disagree. I need to divorce her if I didn't take a concubine. His always cold voice couldn't cover his disappointment. Feng Xujin's heart had broke and he felt numb. He then left without waiting for Zhao Li to answer. Feng Xujin sleep in his study room. Something is wrong. Feng Xujin, you're smart in everything, but why didn't you suspect anything? Zhao Li could sense there is something wrong with both of them. It has been 2 weeks since they talked to each other. She knew Feng Xujin were very, very mad. And her morning sickness started to surface. Madam General had found a lady to be his concubine. She is Zhang family daughter. The ceremony will be advocate next week. Zhao Mama said sullenly. Then it's good. Zhao Mama, I am craving for sour food. Can you cook for me later? Zhao Mama looked at her oddly for the past few days. She had been asking for weird things. Yes, madam. I will cook it for you. Zhao Mama agreed anyway. Located under the blue sky. The manor were sullen due to all the problem that arise. All of the servant knew it well that they shouldn't intervene, so they kept quiet. In the courtyard, two figure with distressed expression. They are Zhao Li and Feng Xujin. You are really going to ignore her and take a concubine? Zhao Li can feel that Feng Xujin is suffering. Feng Xujin only nodded. He has no mood to talk after their huge fight. Are you serious? Zhao Li tested him once again. Feng Xujin only nodded and kept his silence. Zhao Li shook his head thinking about the couple. After a while of a dead silence, an elderly figure passed by them. She is holding an antique tray of foods. Zhao Mama. What does that smell so good? Zhao Li called her out when he saw her carrying foods. This is madam's food. She want to eat sour food. I will leave first then, Zhao Mama said and quickly left. She didn't want to face Feng Xujin. Zhao Mama is also mad at him for not persuading Li Weiwei. Zhao Li could sense that everyone is holding their frustrations on Feng Xujin for agreeing on Li Weiwei request. Master, there is an old man who want to meet you. A guard suddenly interrupted. Who? He doesn't seem like he is from here. The guard nervously said. Feng Xujin go out and saw an old man he has never met before. He looked like an outsider. Who are you? Feng Xujin asked without any delay. That's not important. I just want to tell you that your wife's life will be in danger if she continues to bear the child. The old man could feel Li Weiwei is becoming weak day by day. Child, his heart stopped for a moment. So she has been hiding from him because of this. Her body is too weak. She will die if she stubbornly want to keep the child. This is the poison I gave her, but she throw it away. You should make the decision. His hand tremble holding the poison. The old man then leave Jean air. What happened? Zhao Li suddenly appeared. But he was surprised when he saw Feng Xujin's body tremble a bit. She is pregnant, a whisper came out from his mouth. What? How did you know that? Zhao Li were shocked. Feng Xujin only kept quiet looking at the poison. That's a good news. Why do you look so sad? Zhao Li anxiously asked. I need to choose between her and our child. He has never feel this heartbroken. Zhao Li's eyes widened. He couldn't believe it. Why was this thing always happen to his friend? The story of Li Weiwei and Feng Xujin makes us believe that true love can overcome all difficulties. Thank you for watching. We will continue to share more touching stories in the next episode.